I used to be somebody before that freak Caillou sent his armies south and ruined everything. We had a nice racket going on in the land of the Freelords, or what the rest of the Flaness calls the Bandit Kingdoms. We had a territory we ran, and we hustled and stole what we could from who we could. Sure, we fought amongst ourselves, and I'd just as soon stick my dagger into someone from the Freelords as anywhere else. But we always banded together when an outside force threatened all of our businesses. But all that changed when Ayus came a-calling. Half of the Freelords joined forces with Ayus to save their skins, and the other half got wiped out or sent packing to the other lands, or down into the rift. I was no hero, and neither were any of my mates. So after the massacre of Steelbone Meadows, we did what any guys in our situation would have done. We hightailed it out of there. The only problem is that everywhere we went, there were old enemies waiting. After finally getting corralled by the Ernst soldiers, I was left to rot in the dungeon, waiting for them to decide what to do with me. The way the gods look at us, I don't think we're gonna like what it is they have in store.
Hello, everyone, and welcome.
Hey. Thank you, anyone who is sticking with us and bearing through all this. Frank, Marnold, you guys are awesome.
Yes. To tell you the truth, Frank, I didn't expect to see anybody. We're over an hour late.
I was at this point. I was engrossed in the Dying Kingdom. So
Let me make it clear right now. Adam is not producing tonight.
If you couldn't tell,
I didn't think that was any question.
It could be.
Even my issues have their limits.
Hey, all I know is I shut the computer off, turned it back on, and it worked. So if that's not hardware error, I don't know what is. So.
But anyway, let's get going before we have any more trouble.
That's right. Let's do this. Okay, so welcome to episode 13, Return to the Bandit Kingdoms, Technical Difficulties Part 2. We're going to just do a real quick roll call here. I'm not going to have everybody talk about anything or whatnot because we've already wasted entirely too much time. So we've got Steve playing Wyndon, a fighter guy. He's not a wizard.
He's a wizard.
And then you've got Adam playing Silverwolf. He's an angry ranger that he's got hostility issues. Then you got Rahly, who's a sorcerer, but he doesn't know he's a sorcerer, and he's kind of a cool cat. So
mom's dead.
Yeah, his mom's dead now.
That's what true. My mom said.
That's true. And Juris is playing Rahly. Then you've got Michael, who's playing Three Toes, the ever lovable rogue. And then your video there is. Let me. Can you move your video? Yeah, up into just a little bit, and then now up. Bingo! Look at that beautiful face. All right, cool. And I'm grainy as hell because of...
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. But anyway, you know who I am. I'm Will DM, so there it is. Hey, we're going to try and cram in at least a couple hours for you guys to get a little bit of your fix of Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. Yeah, I'll just say right now, I'll take full responsibility, and I'm sorry that I have a shitty-ass computer. So there you go.
I take responsibility for being in Louisville, Kentucky.
Well, let's put it this way. Until I get a new computer, which hopefully won't be too long. All right, so let's go ahead and we'll do a quick recap. That quick recap, just so that we are all on the same page as what's going on and where we're going. Essentially, last episode, Juris went along with Silverwolf to go talk to his dad, while Three Toes went and met up with... where was Wyndon through all that?
I had gone to see Merc.
Oh, that's right. You went to see Merc, and then Three Toes went to go see the
half-orc,
the Zendra, the Trithereon Paladin lady. So, long story short, he got to talk with Trithereon with Zendra. Michael did. Wyndon was able to recruit his old mentor, Merc, and bring him along to, hey, maybe you can be an extra bow in the dark. And then the real big stuff was basically that... Juris and Silverwolf went to go and
Rahly.
talked with... I'm sorry. Rahly and Silverwolf went to talk with Rahly's dad,
Rahly's got enough personalities already.
Yeah, one more won't hurt. And so then he goes and he meets up with his dad at Vig Richard's, and they actually get to meet Vig Richard for a second. And basically, as a test of loyalty, Arver, Rahly's dad, brought in his mom, who'd obviously been beaten up and worked over. I guess he was done with her and didn't want to have anything to do with the lady anymore. So basically wanted Rahly to kill her, as to show that, hey, you're on board and you're willing to come and work and be part of the outfit and all this and so forth. Rahly refused, so his dad killed his mom, and then that was that. So there it is. All right, so that's where we all ended off. So basically, we were picking back up where you guys were still at.
We also lit a house on fire.
Oh, that's right. You lit a house on fire in Memorial.
And I killed the
Silver Wolf
resident in an attempt to save him. I killed him.
Yes,
you saved him to death.
That's very true. It's very, very true. So yes, so that is where everything was and where we left off. You guys are currently at. You were still at Salus's house.
We all went back to Salus's house. Yeah.
Okay, so that's where it all picked up, and you guys were thinking about.
Three Toes and I actually went to the Roach, the Stomping
Oh,
Roach.
right. Wyndon and I are at.
That's right.
Mother.
Okay, so where we'll pick up with that is basically you guys go and you have a rip-roaring night with a wake down at the Stomping Roach with Jimbo and the crew that are down there. And then basically you guys wake up the next morning. Rahly, you wake up and it's just all kind of dark and your head hurts and you look and you see like wood and you realize you're laying underneath a table in the bar at the Stomping Roach. And it looks like it was a great blast for everybody because there's people laid out all over the place. There's a chorus of snores going on, and what have you. And was it Three Toes? You went with them, correct?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
We can't hear you, Michael. You're muted.
I was saying I did go with him, but I didn't participate in any of the excitement.
Correct.
In fact, I kind of hung in the background and slipped the bartender a few coin when things started to slow down. So
okay. Basically, for that, are you? I take it you're going to spend the entire night there, then, correct?
yeah.
Okay. So basically, that's what you see. You just stay there. You watch Rahly get rip-roaringly drunk. He passes out, and then he ends up sleeping under a table. Is basically what ended up happening there. So you're there, and you hear and see him starting to moan and groan and come to life underneath this table.
Okay.
Oh my God, my head. Oh, take my head. Someone take my head away. Make my head go away.
Oh, I can do that for you. Is that an official request?
Be careful who you're talking to, man.
Right?
If you want.
So there's not really going to be any kind of I don't know what to say, breakfast or anything here. So I would suggest that you wait around for that.
I gather him up and I take it there's nobody else really stirring yet.
No, everybody is pretty much still
wander behind
out.
the bar and find whatever passes for the wake up juice around here. Every bar has some hidden somewhere, and grab that and throw it down his throat real quick and
Okay.
get him out the door there. And
Okay, little hair of the dog, so to speak.
yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, all right. It's essentially that really bad stuff that you first drank when you first came in here. So it gets
That'll wake you up.
Yeah. So you guys go stumbling out of the Stomping Roach, which is, again, it's out of the South Gate, if you guys remember correctly, which is the Dead Man's Gate.
I ask, are you ready to head back to Solace's, or do you need to go do some exploring or something first?
No. Let's go see the freaky little gnome.
All right.
Okay. At this time of the day, everything's quiet. And you guys are actually, are you going to, I take it, go through the front gate?
Yeah.
Okay. You go up to the front gate there, and there is one guy that's awake. It's one of the Rook Roost guards leaned up against the wall. He's got his arms crossed, and he's got his head against the stone. And you can look like he looks like he's wanting to just nod off, but he hasn't. On the other side of him there is one of the it's one of the outfits boys. And he was doing like pretty much the same thing, but you can tell that he's leaned up and
Is there anybody else around?
yeah, there's like four of each.
Oh.
So there's like three of their
Okay.
other compatriots. Now they're
Well,
like
there's-
leaning against the wall and just hanging out there, and they're sleeping. Remember that too, on either side of the gateway entry, there's that stand-up platform that's there.
Uh-huh.
And so they would stand on that and they would look down. There's like a guy on each of those, but they're like laying down sleeping. So it's really just this one dude.
All right. But he can yell and call for help, so I probably shouldn't shoot him, I guess, since Rahly is in no condition to help.
No, Raleigh's still drunk technically. So, yeah, he's kind of stumbling and what have you.
All right.
You
I
kind of
kinda
do. It's one of
glare
those
at
things
the
where you're like
guy.
walking next to him, and every time he starts to veer away from you, you just reach over and you grab him, you pull
Grab
him a
him
little
and
bit
pull
closer.
him back.
Yeah, it's one of those sort of deals. So
Yeah.
as you start
Yelling
going,
about how that girl that he got the phone number from, he needs to get to her hotel.
right,
He doesn't care that she has a boyfriend.
so true.
Not that kind of night.
So the basically, as you start walking by, the guard just holds out his hand and goes, "What's over?"
Give him a high five.
So Rahly uses prestidigitation to create a silver piece, and he puts it in his hand.
All right, you're gonna make me roll. I'm gonna do some rolls. That's what I'm gonna do. That's right. Hope this doesn't make things crash. Here we go. There it is. Okay. You know what? He goes, all right, and he just sticks it in the imaginary coin. He like puts it like it's into his pocket, and then he leans back up against the wall. He seems to be more concerned about sleeping than pocketing your money. So okay. So now back at Salus's place, we had Silver Wolf and Wyndon. You guys had spent the night there and had
Yeah,
been sleeping.
I track and then just up in the chair in the trust circle.
Okay. And
Uh,
where did Wyndon sleep that night?
oh, he would have slept in his normal room and gotten a good night's sleep.
Okay, and he would have. So basically, it's morning time, and it's the typical type of affair that normally would happen before Salus had gotten sick. You guys are getting up, and as you get up, you smell food. There's fresh food and cooked food and what have you.
right.
Whoever ends up going into the Salus's back room, you're
Yeah, I'll
going
go in.
you're going to find that there's plenty of food there laid out on the table.
Good.
As always. There is no Salus, though.
All right. Are there any Bloody Marys? Because it's been I've not
Yes.
found a Bloody Mary in this goddamn city yet.
There sure is.
All right. I pour myself one.
Because you remember, every time there's breakfast beer, she always has a good amount of booze on the
Okay.
table for you, Silverwolf. She understands your need for alcohol to avoid the shakes.
I got to
So-
level off. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, and I'll eat whatever they got there.
right, and as you come in, when you guys come in, sitting at the table, and I'm moving Salus's out of the way, and then go ahead and we'll get rid of. I'm just so you guys don't have to worry about bringing them in and dropping them. I'll just move those tokens down there, just so you guys know those guys aren't there. So, basically, as you're pretty much coming in at the same time, so you got Wyndon's coming downstairs, you know, and Silverwolf's coming in, and there, sitting at the table, is Merc.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him.
Yeah, he's eating up a storm, and he's drinking his beer, and he's having a good old time. And, oi!
Yeah.
Right, it's good to see that you finally get up. You all sleep very late, don't you know? You should, you know. I would have had half me day done by now, but you.
I know when you get older, you tend to wake up earlier, Merc. That's true.
What are you trying to say? I'm not a fucking old man.
That you're old. Yeah, pretty much that you're old. Yeah, that's where I go with that.
All the teeth on the right hand side of my mouth still work fine.
Use your church voice, Merc. My head is killing me.
My church voice. You mean to be an angel? Well, I'll work hard on that.
I'm gonna throw like a muffin or something at him.
All right. He lets it just hit him, and then he'll pick it up and he'll eat it.
So far, this has been a pretty good deal for you, huh, Merc?
Are you kidding? I'm associating with the likes of you. I'm sure there's plenty of people after you wanting to hang you, cut you, quarter you, and psh. But do the arpasts. I've got your back, boy. I've got your back, Deadeye. Don't you worry. There's nothing, the bond we have is thicker than any of the people that are trying to kill you.
You're a pillar of generosity, Merc.
I know. I am. All right. So basically, you guys will be eating, and we'll speed it up here because we're all on fast forward for this evening. Basically now, Rahly and Three Toes, you guys really don't have any kind of impediments upon your way walking back because, like I said, Rook Roost does not open up early, so it's quiet as hell. A couple of stray cats. You see a couple of kobolds over by a grate to the sewer coming out from a night's work.
They follow them in. No.
I'm always going to give you the opportunity to go into the sewer. You know me. I'm a giver that way. Okay, and so you make it in pretty good time back to Salus's. So basically, you guys are there eating at the table, and in comes the stumbling drunk Rahly and his associate Three Toes. So now we can go ahead and put your guys' tokens out there. There they are.
Okay.
For the keen-eyed observer, you'll notice that Rahly has another new token.
That's right. It doesn't even look so good. He looks so fucking good.
I'm just concerned about the fucking show getting on. It does look really good. It does. And that's from our boy Joey, Julian, his art. And I was going to give you props. I'll give it to you.
Dragon Wolf Studios.
Yeah. I'll give you a proper props. I've got a list of people I need to talk about, and that'll happen next week. So anyway, all right. So you guys are in.
Rahly will come stumbling in, kind of clutching his head with one side, and with one hand, he sees Silverwolf. He's like, cousin, who are we going to kill today? And he sits down next to him, puts his hand, kind of hits him on the shoulder. He just sits down. I just
sort of swat it off when he does that.
And he grabs Silverwolf's drink and just downs it.
I pour myself another.
And he kind of holds the glass out like if you're pouring one, pour two.
I'll pour you one. I say you seem like you're in a slightly better mood.
The outfit's blood is gonna pour, my friend. It is gonna pour.
You're still drunk.
I had a dream last night.
I'm going to remind you, you're still
He
drunk.
may have had one or two bottles.
I'm on board here so far. I like new Rahly.
I just sigh a little bit, so revenge it is. That's what we're gonna do. I mean, I get it, but should we have any other plans as well, or?
I thought you were hearing this for making money.
That we could draw upon.
No, I get it. I get it. That's I understand. I'm just saying.
My mother, my only mother.
That's how it usually works. Yes, we can try to channel some of this into something besides vengeance, though, right? Maybe.
Well, I mean, there's a couple of things that we could do that's going to hurt the outfit.
I thought you guys wanted me to take you to show you where the wagon's coming.
We do.
That's,
Shut the fuck up.
We
want
do.
that. Well, no, just let him.
Here, boy, have another drink. I understand. And he pushes a bottle across the table towards you. No sense not getting rich while you're killing folk. That's what I always say.
Yeah, look, right now, Rahly, I mean, we need to be smart about it. The outfit and your father in particular are going to be on high alert. And there's also a chance if we play our cards right that we can get close enough to him. Because I tried to leave the door open when after you left. He offered me a job still. So and if I can get close enough to him, well, then anything can happen. But for right now, let's focus on the task at hand. Believe me, I understand how important revenge is, and I'm working on that myself. So let's hear what Three Toes has to say. We didn't really talk to him, but Wyndon told me about Merc's money train, which I thought sounded like a pretty good way to disrupt IUs, just sort of put a ticking time bomb in this whole city, which sounds pretty good to me.
All I have is, I think we kind of discussed it previously. I talked to a half-orc who has some work for us, I think. It's the same half-orc that we met in the Temple of Nerull. Yeah, that's her name. That's her name.
Well, here's the thing. Will she help us?
She also has some insight and some lines into the Priests of Nerull, who obviously want to see Iusian forces gone from their temple. So we should be able to work that angle too.
Yeah. So if the money isn't, you said I believe last night, Merc, that we had a couple of days before that happened. So maybe we can go see Zendra, see what we can do about the Iusians. Maybe even kill and I don't have my notes here with me, but the Iusian wizard, which I still think is a pretty good idea.
It's a good idea if we can pull it off. He's going to be dangerous, though.
Well,
Right.
we have a wizard, so
Wizards are
Not a
only
wizard.
dangerous if they know you're coming. You gotta ambush
Not a
them.
wizard.
That's how you kill a wizard. You ambush them.
Exactly. I agree with you 100%, Merc.
But
I
yeah,
was gonna
and
say,
and
the boys you're running with, obviously they've never done this sort of work before.
well, thank goodness you're here.
I know, right? Thank goodness. Could you imagine how bad you'd be off if me boy Deadeye hadn't come around and picked me up?
Yeah, well,
We'd be
yeah.
having kind of laughing at to myself, of course.
That always makes me nervous when he does that. Let's grab a dagger just in case.
Oh, Lee Kim's here. Hi, Lee. Sorry about the incredibly
Hey there.
lateness of my ability to do things. See, I just took it on me. I didn't even blame anything about the
That
equipment
was-
this time.
But, yeah, it takes a big man.
Well, obviously, I just need to shut it
Just
off.
compute.
I didn't do the first rule because I shut down the programs, but I didn't shut
didn't
down the
shut
computer
down the
and restart
computer.
the computer.
First
That's
rule
my
of
fault.
IT.
Shame.
All right,
I
go
would
ahead.
like
Sorry.
to
Turn
mention
back
somebody
on.
mentioned that.
Yes, but maybe let's.
Okay. Go ahead.
But if Zendra has info on these priests, we might get these priests to help us. I mean, we can take an army to this fucking temple.
Zendra. Oh, it sounds familiar. You say she's a half-orc.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, Zendra.
She's a paladin for the Trithereons.
Ah, that's her. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's a vicious one. Oh, yeah, I don't know if you boys want to be working with her. She does nothing but trouble for us, that one.
As opposed to all the awesome people who are in Rickers who are totally safe and benign.
Well, those people, at least you know you're underhanded. You know how to treat them. I mean, she might get a wild hair up her butt and go and try and save some, like, orphan or something, and in the middle of, seeing the Iusian demon going to eat it, and then she's like, that doesn't work. There's no profit in it.
Well, again, I don't really care about her. But if we can
Or the
get some, or the
Or the orphan. Yeah, there you go.
all right, you're not allowed to kill any orphans, please.
My mother was an orphan.
All right, I'm sorry about your mother. Let's I think we should go talk to Zendra. We have
Your
before
aunt,
we run out of
by the way.
time. I don't know her.
That's true. Fair enough. You didn't know her. Screw her. That wasn't matter.
I mean, I feel bad, but not that bad.
Of course.
We
Why
should
would
go
you?
see Zendra. Zendra
Okay.
seemed like a nice lady. You know who else was a nice lady?
Your
Your
mom.
mother.
Mother.
Yep.
Yeah, we got.
Oh,
True.
man, I see a pattern.
Yeah.
All right, so if you're going to take them back to,
Three Toes. I don't know where she is.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
Three Toes, yeah. Three Toes, you take them back over to the...
I'll lead him back to that
To
lovely
Lucky's.
establishment. Lucky's.
Well,
like-
yeah, because it used to say Lucky Louie, remember? And the Louie fell off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'll
it's
be
just
like, so
now.
Mark, I don't want to.
Uh,
I don't want to put you up, but why don't you just stay here and relax and have some food and drink? Yeah. Yeah.
I see what you're doing, and I'm all right. Just as long as you cut me in for a fair share when the time comes to the work, I'll be fine.
Sure.
I'll eat your food, and I'll even look around for that crazy little gnome that you got running around here.
Yeah, you do that.
I'll keep her.
Sure
I'll
she'd
keep
look-
her entertained. Don't you worry.
Oh gosh, I'm
ask
glad
her to. Ask her for the special room.
Ah, the special room, you say? All right.
Sometimes
well,
I'm
very
glad
well.
I don't have imagination. Okay.
So
All right.
before they go, Rahly like rummages through his shit and he pulls out his water skin and he just dumps it out all over the floor and grabs some of the breakfast beer, whatever he can find, the strongest stuff he can find, and just fills up his water skin with it
Oh,
before
there's
they
plenty
go.
of strong stuff on the table. I mean, she.
Oh
used
yeah,
to-
strong stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so
Gonna go-
what's the official rule for being drunk? I think it's you get disadvantage on
You
your,
do whatever you want.
on your check. So what I'm gonna say.
When you're drunk, you do whatever you want.
Yeah, well, I'm talking about game purposes
Everything
first and
works.
rolling goes.
Yeah, typically it's like being poisoned. It's like disadvantage on all
It
your
is,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, except for you don't get disadvantage on saving throws or attacks, correct? Just
No, I mean not typically, unless
Yeah.
you want to play it that
Well,
way.
it depends
No.
how
I
can
drunk he is.
verify
he's
that.
he's,
I don't know what
he's
you think
serviceable
Rahly is
drunk.
trying to accomplish today.
Right.
I'll verify that
You're
for you.
mistaken.
Yeah. I I've got all my stuff packed here because I'm moving, and it's like my little cheat. Oh,
It's
there it
fine.
is.
Michael's looking it up.
If you
Michael's
think
looking
I
it up.
fail at something because I'm drunk, that's totally cool.
Yeah. Well,
We're
that's
just
what
go-
we're just
Yeah,
going to do
discretion.
for right now. So any skill checks essentially is what it's going to be. Is that you're going to be at a disadvantage with that sort of
That's
thing.
fine.
Okay. Now, if you keep getting severely hammered throughout the day and don't eat or drink anything besides booze in between, then we'll talk about
Fine.
something else maybe.
So that's
So-
fine.
Yeah. So like in an hour.
Sure.
All right, so Three Toes leads you guys, and he leads you up. It was west, wasn't it? Three Toes. Do you remember where the?
It was to the west of the city, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
Outside of the necrotic gate or something.
Right. It was
Yeah.
Outwall as well.
yeah, it was definitely Outwall. Let me see here. Let me
Oh.
go to the map. I'm not going to take it back over onto. There it is. So let's see. The funerary gate. That's right. So it was west, and it was
Yep.
through the funerary gate. All right.
Funerary and necrotic, same difference.
Yeah, pretty much. It's all the same. Okay, so essentially, again, it is just it's because it's really early. You know, it's like even with them walking back up from the Stomping Roach, it's only like 8 in the morning.
I was just gonna say it's about 8. Okay.
Yeah. So still, the town doesn't even starting to pick up until around 10. Okay, so plenty of time. So you walk through the streets again, hardly anybody about. Most people that are about early in the morning, everybody in Rookroos has a quiet understanding. It's like, okay, you're on that side of the street, I'll stay on this side of the street. We just go about our business sort of thing. You know, thieves in the night sort of jazz. You go through the funerary gate, and he leads you up to out into Outwall. So you're out into the real shacks and the really slummy, downtrodden places out there in Rook Roost, and lead you up to a large one-story, larger than others shack. It looks like it had been a building in somewhat good repair at one time. I mean, it was an actual, like, it wasn't like just a put-together shack, but was a building of one type. But over the years, as it was disrepaired, it was repaired in such a way that now it kind of looks like all the shacks that are around it. And there's the sign. It says Lucky, and then it's like broken. Then laying in the ground in the dirt over on the other side of the door, it says Louis. So, and the door is closed.
I'll just walk up to it and try the door, see if it's open.
It's locked.
It's a public establishment. All right, it's locked. You know what?
Kick it open.
I'll just pull out my. No, there's better ways to do these
I know.
things. I'll pull open my pull out my thieves' tools and give it a shot.
Okay.
Wow.
What'd you
Damn.
get? I'm not looking on that page.
25.
25.
Yeah, he basically what you do is you pull out one thief tool, just stick it in there and go, and it just pops right open. So it's
Like,
it was
you don't need much for these out wall buildings are easy
Yeah.
to get into.
okay. So you pop that, and then so it pops
So
the
while-
door open. What are you gonna do with the door? You just going to like who's going in? What's happening?
So while he's doing that, the whole time Rahly's just been like drinking and talking and kind of muttering to himself, and he's just, you know, and he's just like yelling at random people walking by, and he finally sees somebody, and he just sees like, "You're wearing an outfit. You're part of the outfit," and he just goes up and grabs him by the their shirt, and he just starts shaking him.
What are you doing to me?
Wyndham, you're in charge
Leave
of
me
our
out.
boy.
Leave me out.
Oh,
I
me?
didn't do anything. Leave me out.
That's the closest thing we have to a paladin here.
Or
You're
an
like
adult.
killing people's mothers.
I'll run over to
And
where
the
they
guy
are. I
that
think Rahly.
the guy Raleigh's picking on is obviously one of the refugees.
Right.
He's got threadbare
Raleigh,
clothes
Raleigh.
on. He looks hungry.
Rahly, look at this guy for a sec. He's no outfit member. He's too.
Yeah, look at
he's,
me. Look at me.
He's too underfed. He's
Yeah.
he's
I couldn't hurt a fly. Look,
he's too weak. There's
Yeah.
nothing. He's nothing to do with our troubles.
He
Please
throws
don't
the guy
hurt
to the
me, drunk
ground, and he
mister.
turns on Wyndon now, and he's like, "You're with him too," and he tries to like take a swing at Wyndon, and he just kind of
All right.
falls over.
oh, this is good.
Well,
That's fine. I'll back up. I mean, I'm pretty nimble, so he's probably not going to be able to hit me very well. But all right,
let's
that's-
yeah, we'll roll it anyway, I suppose.
sure, go for it.
He's trying.
Yeah, that's fine. Oh, you
Is it disadvantaged? I don't know. That's like I would give myself disadvantage.
up to you.
Yeah, we'll do it again because it's like just turn and like you can totally picture that drunken like.
You're like falling down drunk. So
yeah, no, like
I'd
if he misses, he falls over for sure.
yeah, I'd say it's definite disadvantage.
Okay, so he falls down. I'll go over and get his arm in a lock. I don't have a lot of strength, but I know about leverage, and I'll be like, "All right, listen, buddy, I get it, but this
Hey,
would be
Winston. Thanks.
Yeah.
You're my best friend, Wyndon.
okay." Glad to hear it. How about we stop assaulting random strangers and our friends on that? Can we try that for a bit?
Huh?
Let's see what this. We'll see what Zendra, if she's around, has to say, and we can go from there.
All right. You think
Okay.
she can teach me magic, Wyndon?
The door
I-
opens up.
I can try.
Two.
All right, I open up the door. I mean, I just open it right up and yell, "Zendra! Zendra,
Well-
are you in here?"
Well, before you do that, because essentially what happened is Raleigh started like going crazy. So you turn around to see him like going off on Wyndham for a second. You're like, silly. And then you, I'm sure you don't even probably watch for the full extent. Then you turn around to open up the door, and the door opens up, and there's Zendra standing there. Hair
Oh,
disheveled.
perfect. I was looking for you.
She's got a
About
long
time you come to the door.
nightshirt on. She's scratching her head. Oh, what are you guys doing here? Oh, God, it's entirely too early. Get in here. And what's up with this drunk friend? Shh. You know I've got neighbors. God, get in here.
Zendra. And he's
They're,
like,
Is this
they're
your-
used to it. Don't worry about it.
Raleigh's gonna try and hug Zendra. He's like, Zendra.
She brings you in because remember Zendra's really big, so she
Sure.
just kind of like grabs you and pulls you into one of those braless hugs. And
He's
your
like,
face
oh,
is, you know,
Zendra. My mama died. My mama died.
Oh, did your mom die? Oh, I'm sorry, honey. And she starts stroking your hair. She says, well, it's a rough world we live in, and you know things happen. How did she die, Raleigh? She picks
My
you up,
mama
Raleigh.
died.
She picks you up, She like reaches down and picks you up like you're a kid. Walks over to one of the stools at one of the empty tables. You guys notice now that the barbarian dude is in here, and then the other shady guy that was in here when you came in before Three Toes. They're in here, and they're like laying on benches, but they're like up and watching what's going on. And she pulls out the bench. She sits down and like sits you in her lap like you're a kid almost. Oh, go ahead and tell Zendra what happened, Rahly.
She died, and then they killed her, and she died.
Who killed her, Rahly? Who killed her?
Dead.
Yes, you said that.
He's just crying.
Yes. Okay, all right. Well, here, you're too drunk to really talk now. So here, she just puts her head against her shoulder. She says, "Now I want you to rest and just try and be quiet, okay?"
I'll walk over to
Nuzzles in.
Silverwolf and be like, "Do you want to tell her, or does it matter?"
It
Tell me what.
doesn't matter.
Okay, there better be a good damn reason that you lot have come around to my supposedly secret location, causing noise, picking fights with people.
Look, well, speaking of big fights, that's what brings us here today. We're looking. We're looking to take some museums, possibly get the temple of Nerull back from them. Any desire to help us, at least introduce us to those priests that you were telling Three Toes about?
Okay, somebody interpret what the hell he was saying to me. You know, because are you as drunk as he is? I actually heard what you're saying, but I'm making fun of the connection is all. So,
I couldn't tell. I sounded fine on my end.
you did.
It's not
You
good.
got that movie star voice. That's what it is, and that's why I'm jealous. I wasn't hearing it. So, all right. So, you want to? Let me get this straight. You want to take back the Temple of Nerull?
And give it back
mean,
to the Nerull.
Well, more like we want to
clerics, yes.
disrupt it from the Iusians.
Well, I mean, that's sure you could try and do that. I mean, I'm just up for killing Iusians as much as possible. But the only reason, let's put it this way, not Rahly. Shh. And she gets your head and she pushes it into her chest.
Rahly's actually he's right on the verge of falling asleep.
And that's what I figured. The only
Passing
reason
back.
I went in there was because my friend Ballista was in there. Now, here's something I got to tell you. I didn't expect to walk out of there. I thought I was going in on a suicide mission. But then when I saw you guys were in there and you were fighting the Iusians, got my blood up and I decided that it wasn't a good day to die. I had more fight in me, so I left with you. But that was a suicide mission, so unless you've got some other idea. I mean,
Well,
if you want to just hang around and the next time I'm going to kill somebody, come with me, I'm all for it.
I think the hope is that you can introduce us to the Nerullian priests that you know, and maybe we could have them.
Well,
come
yeah,
to
I already talked to a weirdo over here about that.
Yes,
Mr.
I went over to the
Mr. I want to
slaughterhouse.
be
Right.
Slaughterhouse
Same.
over there, but unfortunately, all they do over there is slaughter farm animals. So I
What
don't
are
know
you
what the
talking
point of
about?
that.
Of course they do more than slaughter. It's supposed to look like just a slaughterhouse. The Nerullians are wanted. They'd be dead. So, yeah, you got to, do any of you know how to, ask questions in a nonchalant way without raising, a lot of noise and attention?
Usually I'm pretty good at it.
Well, maybe you should send that guy over talking to him. And then see if he can find out. But to tell you the truth, I don't know. It's kind of crazy. I only ran into the Nerullians on accident.
Right.
You know,
So
if we can convince them, are you?
convince them what?
If we can convince them to go fight these Iusians and get their temple back and kill the wizard that's inside, are you in?
What kind of a force can you back us up with?
I ain't got that
You,
many
these
guys.
other fellows in
Yeah, no.
here. What are we looking at?
I ain't got
We already killed half of them.
What that you know how there's a lot more Iusians than just 10 around here. Matter of fact, it's probably going to have a lot more people there now. So now this is what we call the calm between the storms. I don't know. Okay, again, I'll tell you guys how this works. You go and you kill some folk. Everybody goes, "Arr! They killed people." And then they double the guards and they send out people and then they're on alert. And then you don't attack people during that time. You wait. They get complacent. They, kind of things calm down. And then you kill them and then you rinse.
No. That's when you creep in under the cover of darkness through a secret passage and take out their leadership.
Oh.
You leave the guards on the walls. Who cares about them? It's the leadership.
So what you're telling me is you know how to get into the peak. And at Aris and all those demons and whatnot that are hanging around in there. That's where you're gonna go.
No, but I know you know who does.
Yeah, and even if you were to sneak in there, no offense, Aris would not just clean the floor with all you guys, he'd kill me too. You do know what Aris is, right?
Something that's killable.
He's a cat.
He bleeds.
He's a fiend.
I saw him bleed.
Demon.
He bled.
Well, we don't know that was Aris, though. That could have just been some random demon.
Oh, you talking about that demon that was in the? No, that wasn't Aris. That's just some dude they summoned to sacrifice Ballista to.
Right.
That's all.
So he's like not even.
No,
as
Aris
high
is.
up the hierarchy.
Well, let me tell you this. Okay, you guys know who Iuz is, right?
Yes.
He bleeds.
He's a Cambion. And
He bleeds.
Aris, he's a Cambion too. Now, granted, I'm not saying that he's anywhere in the realm of Iuz. I mean, fuck, Iuz has got his own priests. That should tell you how powerful that dude is, okay? So, but this is Aris. I don't have the firepower to take him out. I'm just being a thorn in his side right now. You know what?
Sure.
Oh, I thought he was waking up.
No, run.
Shh, it's okay. It's all right, Rahly. Just calm down. Calm down.
Very well. So, I think our plan immediately is to try to just take out that archmage, that wizard who was working in that chapel, along with whoever else made collateral damage.
All right. Well, you want to take him out? I mean, I'm all for it.
Well,
we're here to disrupt the forces of Iuz. That's our mission.
I mean,
Well,
he's
if that's your
clearly-
mission, then all you guys need to do is just hang out, and when I need your muscle, I'll call you up, you come help me, and then you go back and you go hide. I mean,
Right.
Yeah. We want to be a little bit more proactive than that.
This is
okay.
This is exactly what I would expect from a paladin of Trithereon. All talk, all bluster, no action. I say, guys, let's go talk to the Nerullians. I want out.
Again,
Yep. But we can count on your aid, though, right?
a little bit of advice. You should probably have this guy, Wyndon, do most of your talking. Hey, if you guys are going to kill something I want killed, I'll definitely help you out, provided it doesn't conflict with my schedule.
Sure.
And vice versa. Where can I meet you guys if I need to find you again? Same
You
place?
can leave a word at the
Crazy Gnomes?
Oh, there's a couple different places. Yeah, that'd be good. You know about Crazy Gnome?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
she got
she was
teleported
with you
there
guys
with
when
us.
you
That's
teleported.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can leave a word for us there.
All right. If I need you, I'll leave something there for you, and then hold on a second. And she picks Rahly up.
He stirs awake. He's like, what?
She sets you down on the bench. All right, Rahly. Just stay there for a moment, okay? All right. She goes over and she goes behind and through the back, past the bar into a back room. You hear her rumbling around a little bit, and then she comes back out, and she's got a silver medallion necklace. She goes, "Here you go, Rahly. Take this. I want you to have this. This is one of my very own holy symbols of Trithereon." And look, and she shows you the symbol on there. Now, are you familiar with who Trithereon is?
No. He's looking at it like it's the most.
Trithereon is a good mix of things. Trithereon champions the weak and the oppressed. champions those who wish to keep hope within their hearts. But with that, and with the helping of others, Trithereon is also about fucking revenge! And killing people. And killing those sons of bitches that deserve it. Now, if you get seriously upset again, I want you to just rub this down and just repeat these words. Trithereon, in you I do trust. And by you will lead the way. There you go. Now you keep that.
One more time. Would Trithereon trusted
In
me?
Trithereon, in you we do trust. And Trithereon will lead the way. I think I said it right the second time.
I just tell him, hey, she's teaching you magic. Pay attention.
Whoa. Like, in an instant, you just watch Rahly go sober. He's like, wait. Are you saying Trithereon can teach me magic?
Of course Trithereon can teach you magic. Trithereon is a god, a higher power. Someone who will give you purpose in life and show you the way. Give you the power to strike down those who would take innocent people like perhaps your mother was. Yeah. He doesn't
All right.
know
Do you have
who
like
your
a-
mother
do
really
you have a
was,
book?
obviously. So
Because I'm a really big reader. You got like a do you got like a do you guys got a Bible or like a
Pamphlet.
brochure? Either one will do.
you know what?
Pamphlets of Trithereon.
You wait right there. And she goes back into the back room near some more rumbling around. And she brings out a little small, it's like I don't know if there's any Catholics around here, the little small Catholic prayer books that you would keep with your Bible to go with. Okay, it's about that size. It's just a leather-bound, very worn book. And she goes, it's not all of the teachings, but it's some select teachings of Trithereon. Stories mostly about people who worshipped him and the things that he's done to help those people. That sort of thing.
Okay.
Excellent.
You go ahead and keep that with you. All right?
He immediately just starts like looking through it. He's still not really. He can't stand. You know, he's like reading, and as he's reading, he's teetering more because he's not focused on.
Right. She like actually grabs you and grabs your shoulder a little bit and pulls you in and close a little bit again. And goes, and Rahly, try to cut out the drinking. It's not going to help your mom. She slaps you on your ass and she goes, all right, go to bed. Hey, and
Night.
by the way, I won't be here next time you guys come a-looking. So I'll have to try and find you. I'll leave a message the next place I find a spot.
All right, sounds fair.
The place is a little bit too hot now. Too many people
Yeah.
just walking in.
Understood.
Yep, sure is. All right. Good night.
Good night. And Wyndon will just sort of like try to walk over to Rahly and see if he needs any assistance in walking or if he's still right.
Right.
He's pretty stumbly, but
Okay.
he looks like he's going to stay upright at least.
He'll
Just-
help guide him. He'll help guide him at least.
Hey, we
Thank
got a. Does Rahly have inspiration yet?
He has a lot of inspiration. He is so. No. Give me more
Good
inspiration.
night, Lee Kim. Okay, he does it.
Lee Kim. It depends.
I
What
think
answers give me inspiration?
didn't I just nominate Rahly
Yeah,
for
you got
I
inspiration
believe
last time?
so. Yes.
Yeah.
He's
You,
sitting
you
two
know
right
how
now.
you know how inspiration works, don't you, Jairus?
I do.
Okay. All right. So you just haven't kept track, is what you're telling me.
You only can have one at a time, though.
Yeah, that's
two
true. That's
instances of
so you
inspiration.
still you got the you have inspiration currently, right?
I do. Yes.
Okay, well, never mind. Because somebody nominated you. I was going to give you a fair shake for your grieving episode. You know, that's all. Okay.
Well, it's got it caps out at 3, right?
No,
Is
you
that
can
the,
only keep one.
One.
Yeah, you can
Wow.
only have one at a time.
Oh, it's only one. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's inspiration. All right.
Mhm.
Good to know.
But the more you
You
use
can
it,
only be so inspired.
that's true. The more you use it, the more likely I am going to give it back to you too. So
Sure, that makes sense. Good
Just
to
saying.
know.
Okay, so she goes back and goes back into her room and closes the door. Now, the big barbarian guy is kind of like leaned over and he's, laying on his bench, and the other guy's kind of doing one of these numbers, leaning on his bench, and they're just watching. And he goes, "Yeah, hey, if you guys want to take off, we'd like to go back to sleep too."
See ya, Butch. We're gonna walk
Hey,
out.
I'll walk the way out the door and start heading towards the slaughterhouse. Unless someone has a better idea.
All right.
I'm just leaning up against the outside wall near the door, so as soon as they come out, I'll follow them.
I'm gonna turn to Silver. I'm like, so do you practice the brooding? Like, do you like stand in a mirror, or is it just sort of like a
Comes
natural
naturally.
talent?
Comes
Okay,
naturally. Yeah.
nice. I can never get it right. I always just look more smug than broody. I don't know. But yeah, okay.
That's good times right there. Okay. So you guys make it to over because the slaughterhouse wasn't terribly far away. So we're gonna say it's just getting a little bit closer towards 9 o'clock, we'll say. And essentially, the slaughterhouse is quiet. There's animals outside. There's pins with the animals, but there's a couple of barns. Then there's a very large barn / the slaughterhouse building, kind of like in the center of it all. And you see just like a couple of guys, 2 guys, look like average dudes. They got like aprons on, high boots, and they're walking around through because most of the dirt and what have you around the slaughterhouse, it's mostly mud. Okay, just from the animals and all that different jazz. So these guys are walking around and they're slopping. They're feeding. They're dropping stuff out over the fences to feed the pigs. That seems to be currently what they have. There's a couple of pins of pigs and 1 pin of like sheep that are there, and they're just feeding them. They're not really paying you guys any attention.
I'll turn to Three Toes and be like, so is Nerull like an early morning god, or would his priests sleep in a bit?
Oh, I'm sure they'll be just happy to get up early in the morning to talk to me.
Right. But last time you were here, you just saw no sign of them.
No, it's just there was a lot of activity, a lot of slaughtering going on. But at first I thought this was gonna be like some kind of a fun bar, but it turns out it's really a slaughterhouse.
Yeah, weird about that.
So true.
So how do you want to do this? This is kind of your shtick. Are we going to go through the front door again? Are we going to try to ask around? Are we going to be sneaky? Like, what's the deal?
Well, let's find someone who knows what's going on. The guys doing the feeding, they're not going to know anything. We need to find someone who knows, a manager or something, who knows what's going on in this place.
Hi, I'd like to speak with the manager.
Yeah, right. Okay, well,
That's
this is
it.
your...
I had an
Your
issue with
area.
my last slaughtering.
I would definitely like to complain to
Extra
somebody.
slaughter.
I ate the steak at the Green Egg, and I believe it came from your establishment, and I just did not like the way it was slaughtered.
So true.
So going through the front door.
Yeah, just go up to the front door and walk right in like we own the place.
Okay.
Okay, essentially
Behind the flop,
I'm sorry.
and
what?
Rahly is just falling face down in the mud. Like he was reading the book and kind of stumbling as and he just slipped in the mud and he kind of gets back up and he's wiping the dirt or the mud off of his book and it's like, guys, have you heard about this Celestia? The seven mounts of Celestia. It's the 7 mounting heavens of Celestia. Have you guys heard of this place? It
Not
sounds
super,
amazing.
not super germane to where we're at right now, but
Where are we? Right?
we're near the slaughterhouse. Doesn't that sound fun? We're apparently going to try to walk in the front door.
Okay,
Or
so
not?
Do
essentially,
we want to have maybe somebody go through the back door?
Normally that
Heyo.
would be Three Toes, but he wants to helm the direct assault this time.
I mean, I'm all for just kicking open the front door.
Well, I
and
don't
walking
think
in.
we're attacking, right? We're just going
No,
in
no,
and
no.
making
We've got a
general
pleasant-
inquiries. If we're going stealth mode, if we're gonna, we'll do it totally different. But if we're just
I
going
think-
in to ask questions, like our half-orc friends
Here's the
suggested.
thing: if these are indeed priests of Nerull, who are, by the way, as Zendra stated, illegal and persecuted, I just don't think they're going to be super welcoming to strangers coming to the door and like, oh yeah, come on in, let's talk
Well,
about.
let's just say I used to work for them and just go from there. They'll know who I am.
All right.
We did quite a few contracts for them, and I know my name was well known in their circles.
Okay, well, you're the expert, so you decide what we do.
Okay, so you're gonna try and go into the main big building. Is that the one? The other ones were
How many
just
buildings are
barns.
there?
Well, there's essentially 4. There's one big building. There's the pins, and then there's a couple of different barns. There's like 3 barns that are connected. The barns were all closed up. Now, the big building looks like a barn / warehouse sort of thing. But there's it's got big doors on it, just like a barn, but it's got the inset smaller doors that can open and close like a normal door. Sort of like a firehouse. You know the firehouse doors? They got the door within the big door sort of thing.
Yep.
Like that.
I'll just go through the smaller doors, the human doors.
Yeah. Okay. You open up
And,
you
yeah.
open up the door, and it leads into. It's essentially a platform, like a 10 by 20 platform sort of thing, with a slope that goes down. Okay, and essentially it lets you in, and you're looking in now. The early morning sun's coming into. There's all kinds of like corrals, wooden corrals that are set up in different types of like. They almost look like stockades. Essentially, what you guys are looking on is you're looking on the killing floor. And there's all kinds of inset grates in the floor where the blood and what have you drains. There's no animals in here currently, but there's 2 guys that look real similar to the guys who were outside that are, they got buckets, big buckets of like soapy water and whatnot, and there's barrels of water like in the center, because the center part of it's kind of like open with the corrals along the sides. The heads point in like they would shuck them down, like the stockade where they have the hands out in the head, so they get and take care of the animals. So they're scrubbing the floor, and the floor is not dirt. It's actually a tiled floor in the center. The corral part is dirt, so it's set up so that the blood, when it hits that, they can push it down into the grates and what have you. So when the door opens up, these 2 guys who are scrubbing and whatnot, cleaning up, they stop and they look up at you guys. And the one guy stops in mid scrub with his big old broom scrubby thing, and he goes, "Can I help you?"
Yes, I speak to. I'm seeking someone who's in charge around here.
Well,
Would that be you?
No. I think you're looking for Folson. Folson is the owner of the slaughterhouse. If you're looking for work, we're full up right now. We don't need no one.
Yeah, well, I have other special skills. I'm good at slaughtering, actually. But Folson, you say?
Folson.
Where would I find him?
He'll be here soon enough. Can I ask who's calling?
No.
Well, okay.
I tell you what, if you see him, you tell him that we'll be waiting for him in his office. Where's his office?
His office is over here, but you're not allowed in his office.
All right, we'll be waiting for him in his office. You let him know. Okay, thanks. And then I just start heading over towards his office.
If you're very concerned about it, you can go get him now and let him know that we'll be in his office. And then I'll follow 3 toes.
And they're all like, the 2 guys just start looking at each other like they don't know what to do. And so
internally, Wyndon's like doing this, but externally he's just got his mean face on, so he's not saying anything. He's just following them.
Does Wyndon's mean face look like a constipated face? Because it's like
no, it just looks stern.
Okay. I know it's like you don't you have a hard time with like shit talk, and I didn't know if stern gazes too. Maybe okay. All right.
Rahly gives him a big hug and says, "Thank you for all your help," and he gives him a platinum piece.
Holy Christ! I'll go get him. He goes running.
He's a super nice guy.
He goes running out the door you guys just came in. Okay, so basically where he was referring to, he jerked over his shoulder with his thumb, right? And like over in a corner, sort of elevated up because this is a bigger building. It has a very high ceiling, and you can actually see that there are fans on belts up there. But they're not being currently, there's some sort of pulley system that goes to the outside. They're not engaged right now. And built into the corners of this building are like rooms with stairs that go up. There are 2 levels on each one. There's a door, then there's a stair that leads up to another door with a little landing onto each side. So it's sort of like a little tower within. Okay. When he jerked his thumb, he jerked it over to one that was in a corner across from where you guys were at. And you can see this one here, whereas the other ones don't really have windows, or if they do, they're small. This one has like big windows, so whoever's sitting in there can watch what's going on out on the slaughter room floor. Okay.
Perfect.
And it's dark in there. I mean, it's not like pitch black. It's just dark because the only light coming in is light from the morning sun that's coming in.
Can I peek in through the window and see if I can see anything with my dark vision?
Yeah, actually, you don't even need your dark vision to see it. It's just like it's just dim in there. It's There's
Just empty.
Yeah, there's desks. There's 2 desks. There's some chairs.
I mean
cabinets
of people.
Oh, you mean outside or into the other?
No, just inside. There's no people in there. Just
No.
right.
No.
In the office.
No. And actually, the other guy who didn't get the platinum piece watches you guys walk by over to the thing, and he's like, hey! And he like goes running after the guy and goes, oh, I want to tell him too! Because he saw that he got a platinum piece.
I just walk up to the door. If it's locked, I'll unlock it and just let us in and go have a seat at his desk and wait for him.
This place is empty now. Do we want to check some of these other doors, and maybe we can just find these Nerulians without having to wait for the civil servant?
I think we need a proper introduction. We don't want to just go waltzing in unannounced.
Yeah. Nosing
All right.
around looks guilty of something. Waiting is, why is he waiting?
At the very least, it's impolite.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that. I just,
Well-
for your own sakes, I would suggest we just wait here.
Yeah, Death
Okay.
Priest. Yeah, I'm good with waiting.
Is there like a desk that looks a little bigger or fancier than the others?
Yeah,
Maybe,
there's one.
looks
There's
like
a couple of chairs. There's enough chairs in there for all of you guys to at least have
Well,
a
I'm
seat.
sitting behind his desk.
Yes,
Whatever
for
the
sure.
nicest looking desk is,
Mhm.
that's where I'm sitting. Feet up on it, hands back behind my head.
Okay.
It's
That-
gonna be waiting for
Then
the
I'll
next one and try to swoop into it before he gets to it.
Okay. All I heard is swoop into it before he gets to it.
It's gonna be waiting for till I see what, and then just try to snake it from him.
Now, don't blame Ned on me. I have nothing to do with other people.
Yeah, that's Rahly's. That's Jarvis's connection.
Yeah, you're just breaking up a little bit on us. I heard what you do. You're going to try and swoop in and take whose chair? Was it Silverwolf's, though?
So,
Yeah. So,
Okay.
yeah, you like go start heading towards one chair. Now, all I want you to do, Rahly, is give me a dexterity check at disadvantage.
If I see him do that, instead of sitting in the chair, I'm going to try to kick it out from under him.
Excellent. Just go ahead and give me a roll to hit, like a regular strength or dex, whichever would be best for you, Silverwolf.
It's the same.
Great.
17. Actually, I'm also. I guess I could add my proficiency because I am a
Ballroom brawler.
barroom brawler.
Yeah, so
So
that's
it's
basically
19.
what happened. So you go, Rahly, you go jetting over to get it. You actually start stumbling like you're going to fall onto the ground anyway. And then Silverwolf kicks the chair out from under you, and you just keep like falling forward. But instead of the chair being there to kind of help catch you, you just kind of like, ah, and hit the floor. Boom.
And then I'll sit down in the chair next to it.
Excellent.
Windit'll just remain standing.
Okay. So as you
Perfect.
guys are just kind of hanging out in there for a little while, you hear a like metal scraping on stone coming from out on the killing floor.
All right, I'm looking at that.
Okay. you look out, Wyndon, and okay, the grates that are in the floor are round. Okay, think of like a sewer
Yeah,
lid.
exactly.
Okay, but these have like all kinds of slits in it so that the blood and whatnot
Yeah.
pours down through. There's 4 of them. Okay, and what you're seeing is the very first one in the line. So like where you guys first came in, you walk down the ramp, and then there would be these grates there. It's turning.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
as it turns, it's starting to rise up a little.
As soon as Wyndon saw those grates, he knew that this is bad news.
I think it's the
okay.
people we want to see, so that's cool.
All right. So the grates like is it like screwing off, like being turned like a screw
Yes.
up? Okay. I will point this out to everyone else. He'll be like, so I don't think this is normal procedure. I'm pretty sure.
All right, well, I'm going to get out my bow just in case, and I'll walk over and take a peek myself.
Okay.
Hmm.
And what's
Does anybody-
Fritos
is-
and Rahly doing?
I'm just gonna wait. Actually, I reach into my inside shirt and tunic and pull out my holy symbol of Nerull, but I put that inside of my outer shirt, so it's not quite dangling out yet. But
Gotcha.
it's ready.
Yeah. So you don't like fumble with it when you're trying to look smooth by just
Right.
throwing it out.
Exactly.
Nice.
Okay. And what's Rahly doing?
Raleigh's starting to get the spins.
Okay. So he's kind of like sitting on
leg.
the floor. Okay. All right. So that thing continues to screw off, and after a little bit longer, it's like pushed over and then pushed aside. You see a pair of hands come out, and it pushes it over to the side. And then a guy reaches up and pulls himself out. And then he gets up and he stands. He's dressed in, they look like monk clothes, like a monk habit with a hood that's pulled up, but they're leather. And they're black. And
Red.
they're lined in red. And he reaches down and into the hole, and another hand reaches up and grabs his, and he pulls somebody else up out. And then the
I'll
two
turn to.
Uh-huh.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, okay. Well, because after he pulls that out, they both turn and they start walking over towards.
Okay, I'll go to Three Toes. I think these might be your guys.
Perfect. I'll actually stand up and head to the door and step outside. And I just casually say, greetings. Even the dead need champions.
Greetings, and everyone should have a good death. Oh, no. Greetings, and every death is a good one. There you go. Yeah, I'm going to totally butcher all your good sayings and stuff, Michael. So the one guy, the two guys that are standing there, the other one looks at him and he goes, "It is him."
Yes, it is me. I am formerly known as Bonnier the Assassin. Now I'm known as Three Toes in these parts. I have reformed the toes. My new associates are behind me here. We seek out your
wave.
assistance to retake your temple. You seem to have lost control of it. And then I pull out my holy symbol, and I also say, as a former initiate, I also seek further guidance from one such as you.
Initiate. I find that hard to believe. You're still alive. Or
Yes.
did something go wrong with your training?
Yeah, I had to leave town before it could be completed.
Interesting. Well, these are not matters for us to discuss. We ourselves are just low-level novices. I think you want to talk to the actual priest. There's only
Yes.
one left. If you'll come with us. And
Absolutely.
They start walking back over towards the hole.
Raleigh.
I knew it. I knew it.
Field trip.
I knew they lived under the grates. I knew they did.
Give me one.
There was
One
a
minute.
waste. There was a wastebasket right next to you. I'm assuming you missed it.
No, that's when it goes, a wastebasket?
Just
Okay.
Well,
As he's in there,
basket is for trash. This is
As
not-
Rahly's throwing up, these guys don't wait for him. They go.
Yeah, I'm follow. As soon as I said that, I just follow Three Toes
Right.
and those guys.
I'll
I'll put
follow
my
as well.
bow away.
They get
This-
to the hole and they start climbing down. It's just like a sewer, a manhole cover leading down. There's a circular hole that leads down. There's a rung that goes down the side, and you see it goes into a bigger chamber below. Okay, like a tunnel, and they just climb straight in and then start walking. There's also, you can see dim light coming up and out of there, and the light is red.
Well, of course.
It's
I'm
a
following.
whole theme. It's a package, really. You know,
Yep.
when they come in, they set it up. It's just, you know.
They had their decorator,
Yeah.
they locked it in. Yeah, I'm following very reluctantly with Three Toes and Silverwolf.
Yeah, I just have as I'm walking, I'll just have my hands on my swords just in case things go south.
Right.
But
Like,
I'm not
relax,
threateningly.
relax.
Just
I've been to these places many a time. It's all mainly for show. Just don't act like, I don't know, I normally would, and it'll be fine.
That is very solid advice from you. How do you prefer to be addressed now? Is it Three Toes?
Yeah, that's a name I haven't used up yet.
Very well. And then they just they're walking down. Now, this hall goes for at least a good 20 feet, and then there's a door. Okay? And basically what it is, this is a circular chamber. It just starts where the ladder went down, and it's like you can tell by the angle of where it's going. Essentially, this is leading out to underneath where the pins and stuff above would be in there. Okay, so the tunnel is circular. It is brick, and there's little incense. What do they call that? It's a little dugout for
A sconce or
it's
alcove?
an inset,
inset.
alcove. Thank you. There's the word
Yep.
I'm looking for. Little alcoves that are set, and inside of each one of these alcoves are red cubes that glow faintly, which is giving the light to the tunnel itself. And they go down and they go to the door, and then they stand on either side of the door and wait for you guys to walk up.
Now, is Rahly joined us, or is he still up in the office?
He's still up in the office.
Okay, all right, good to know. Probably for the best, really.
yeah.
Hey, Rahly, in there was a nice bottle. There's like a couple of bottles of brandy and some glasses.
Oh no, he's
on a tray.
He's beyond hair of the dog. It's all catching up with him now.
Well, I figured I would just give you the option if you want.
Just be drunk for the rest of your life.
Yeah, there's some people that do that. Okay,
That's
so you guys,
We already have a party drunk. Come on.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
So you guys go down to the door, and as you come up, once you get to the door, essentially, you get the feeling that they're not really concerned or paying attention to Wind and Silverwolf. They're not really paying attention to you. It's like their eyes follow Three Toes. When
Right.
Three Toes walks up, the one guy reaches over, opens the door, and swings it open. They let Three Toes walk through. They like motion for him, and as Three Toes walks through, they turn to follow him and like kind of cut you off. But they're not
Okay.
stopping you, but they're going to let you follow. But they made it a point to go in after Three Toes.
Sure.
Okay.
You know what I
That's
mean?
fine.
Sort of.
Winded's used to power plays. He doesn't care.
Yeah, it's sort of like
Yeah.
just they're kind of like showing, you guys really don't matter much. This is the guy we want to talk to.
Yep.
Okay,
Fine.
so this leads into a larger room, and this room has tables and chairs, and it looks like a sitting room, and there's books and different things along these lines for like people maybe studying or praying or what have you. Okay. There's 4 doors in this room that lead away. It doesn't have the red glow light in here. It's regular light, but it is magical light. So it's like a soft white glow sort of thing. So it's obviously some sort of divine light. And the two guys walk over, and in the center of this room is a circle with it's the sickle, and that's it. Is there anything else besides the sickle? That's the only part of the symbol, right?
It's the sickle is the big
Yeah.
the big thing.
Okay.
It's yeah.
Okay. There's a circle, and it's carved into the floor and painted in red. And there's a sickle that is carved into the floor too. And it's like the rest
Actually, it's a sai, actually. Not
Okay.
a sickle.
It's
a
not a
sai.
sickle. It's a sai. Okay. It's
Sai,
sort of
yeah.
the same thing.
Just a big sickle.
Yeah, exactly.
Big, yeah. Yep.
So the floor is tiled, and then essentially this big circle that's in the center of it. Look at that shirt. That's pretty cool.
Hey, who is that guy?
He likes to hang out low on the shirts.
Yeah.
So it's like a big slab of black stone in which the design is carved, okay? And then there's in the center of it there is a block, sort of like similar to an anvil, but it is a square block of, again, it's this black stone, but there are like manacles to the side for like
Yeah, I know what this
restraining
is.
somebody. Okay, I think you understand what that thing is.
Yeah.
Okay. It's a release station.
Is that the official term?
Sure, why not? Okay, so
Instead of a murder block, didn't
Murder
sound
block.
good on the brochure.
there you go. There you go. There is two more guys dressed real similar to the first two that got you that are in there. And they're standing at the far end of the room on either side of this one door. Okay? And the two that brought you in, one turns to Three Toes and says, "You can wait here. Either have a chair if you wish, or stand. The high priest will be in a moment."
Excellent.
And they go and they stand on the opposite sides of the walls themselves. Okay. And then, not too long after that, the door opens up, and now in walks three guys. Okay. First one through, second one through, basically have a very similar feel of priests, or I shouldn't say priests, but clerics in the traditional sense of D&D, except they have they're kind of color coordinated like the other guys. They're wearing darks, blacks, reds, that sort of jazz. But they're armored. One has like scale mail. The other one has like a full thing of chain. They don't wear helmets, but they both have their hair slicked back and they got the charcoal around the eyes, sort of thing. And behind them comes in a bigger, bulkier humanoid figure, also in armor, but it's plate armor, but there's something just not quite right about its proportions. It is humanoid shaped, and this one is wearing a black cloak with a hood that is up, but there's a snout sticking out of it.
Can I do a perception check to
Sure.
see if I can figure out what this thing is?
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, Adam has an idea, but perception.
And tell me what you got, because I'm not on that page.
18.
Yeah, you're like, is that a lizard's snout? It is green and scaly. And
That's what I
when
thought.
you think, is that a lizard's? A tongue goes. And then as those two first guys in armor come in, they kind of like move to the side. This other, it's a lizard man is what it is.
I got you.
Comes walking up, and then they fall in behind it, and they come up to and stand, not where in the circle, but on the outside of the circle, and they're looking, and you know the plate mirror, the lizard man throws its head back, and it's a lizard. It's a lizard man, you know, and its tongue snakes out again, and it looks with its big, almost glowing yellow eyes, and it looks, you know, a couple of rapid blinks real quick at Three Toes, and it goes, "Yes, I've heard of you before, Three Toes." And you know who this is, Three Toes, from when you were doing the stuff before. This is Doxson, is this guy's name. He is a priest. He's a priest that was part of the Temple of Nerull, but he wasn't a high-ranking priest. He was more of the... He was the guy that got charged with doing lots of things. It's like, Doxson, go and run the initiates through the rites. Doxson, I want you to go over here and we're going to do the official sacrifice, but you're the guy who's going to chain them up and hold them down. So, like, he was a very proficient and prolific priest. He knew lots of different things, but you kind of knew that he never rose very high up in the ranks of the actual Church of Nerull here in Rookroost because of the fact that he was a fucking lizard man. And most of the priests were all human. All the other priests that are here, they're all human.
And he's still in charge, it appears.
It appears he seems to be... from your time before, you knew who the head priests were and stuff, the hierarchy of it. And you've not seen any of those guys, so who knows where they're at. And you would have to say Doxson was probably a mid-level management guy back in the day when you knew him. And they called him the head priest when they were bringing you down. So,
Question: would we have any idea what lizard people are, or who they are they common in Greyhawk, or is it, or like
they are, depending on where you're at, they could be common.
So like
uncommon
Wyndham wouldn't be like,
here.
Okay, but he wouldn't be like, "Oh my god, a giant lizard." He'd be like, "Oh, lizard person, interesting."
Well, this is the reason you don't do that, is because you've lived in Rookroost.
Right.
And there's a lot of, depending on the cities you're in, like if you're in Greyhawk, you see all kinds of crazy stuff. In Rookroost, you still see crazy shit. You know what I mean? And especially something like a lizard man isn't so far off the beaten path of maybe having seen there, but it's gonna be super rare. You could probably live your whole life in Rookroost and never see one, but you could have known a guy in a bar who told you a story about seeing one. Dude, I was over at the funeral. You wouldn't believe what the fuck I saw. You know,
cool,
sort of thing. You know,
I probably haven't seen or heard of one before.
But the fact that you're a ranger and you're kind of down.
Doesn't. Yeah, I'm not that surprised, but I've seen I've seen shit.
Yeah. Well, let's put it this way: they're common enough that you guys have heard of them.
Okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? So you just automatically assumed this has got to be a lizard man. It's a lizard and a man.
He's a man. Yeah.
Well, as soon as I see him walking in, I will immediately assume the correct bow and address him as Life Cutter, and then I repeat everything I said before.
Okay, and he'll give you the same courtesy back bow. You know, it's not as deep as yours because it's station thing, whatever. But he shows you the proper respect. And you want our help with getting back the temple?
Yes, I believe if we work together, we have some more forces we're gathering about the city. Could be able to perhaps retake that and push IUs perhaps out of the area. I'm sure you would like that.
Of course. But you'll have to show us a little bit more than this.
What would you like to see?
The forces. I have respect for you, Three Toes, for what you've done before in the past. You are a very accomplished, I don't know, what would you say, disciple without being a complete disciple of Nerull in this ways.
Well,
the Iusians are strong. I am the only one left from the original temple. These are initiates that I have collected over time, and these are the only other priests that are under my command. And he's going to quite frank. Sorry, I'll speak up. He'll he'll motion towards the other two priests that are right there. He goes, these two priests are the only other priests that I have. None of the other initiates that have taken the trial have survived.
Well, maybe we need some more priests.
You should know that it is not an easy thing to achieve.
It would be easier with a temple, wouldn't you say?
No, the temple is just the building. It is not necessary for one to give their lives to the service of Nerull.
Oh,
I always thought that you would become one of us, Three Toes, instead of killing for money. His tongue.
Well, was the plan. I do recognize a couple of people here that I once studied with.
Well, you can always attempt to try and become one of us again. You were nearly finished when you left. All you really need to do is to go through the trials.
Yes, I know. And that is definitely something I would like to consider. Is that an offer you were extending, an official offer?
Of course it is. We need the people. We need the strength.
Perfect.
is this a long process?
Are you interested in joining us through the ordeals?
No, I'm just kind of in a rush. I've got an Iusian wizard to kill, a money train to rob.
It is not that long at all if you've followed through the procedures up to this point. Silverwolf.
Oh no, I'm not
My bad.
interested.
He didn't say your name. I looked at you and instead
How do
of
you
saying
know
three,
me?
right? You just
This guy's got some
Ball
parlor
write
tricks.
you in a crystal ball, man. That's what it was. He goes, Three Toes. He has completed all of the other training. Now he just needs to undergo the last rites very quickly to do. You, it would take longer.
Thanks. I wasn't really interested. I'm not a religious sort, although you guys, I like the black. That looks slimming. It looks good.
He just looks at you, blinks really quick, tongue goes out, comes back in.
Kind of creeps me out when he does that, but
The offer.
All right, well, I'm definitely willing to accept your offer as long as it does fit within our timeline. But I think the extra abilities and skills that would bring to our activities would definitely be worth our while.
Yes. We have the area ready. It is just whenever you wish to do it. We can see if you are indeed favored by Nerull.
Of course. Don't need to wait till the High Festival.
Death can come and go whenever. It is your choice. High Festival is more ceremony. Nerull will accept his chosen ones whenever. You hear
All
one of
right.
the guys against the wall goes, yeah, because they had a lot of good pastries at that.
I'm watching Three Toes and seeing if he looks at all nervous, because I don't think I've ever seen Three Toes look nervous. So I'm just seeing if he has any visible sign of being nervous or not at all.
No.
Yeah,
Right.
slightly actually, just a little bit. I mean, it's a huge commitment, a huge step, and almost he kind of has come to the point where it was like a big thing he was going to do once, then he had to leave, and now it's more like it was a thing I was going to do once, and the more the time has passed, the more it's like insulated, but now it's right back again. So a little tiny bit of nervousness from Three Toes, but you would only know that from traveling with him as long as you have. If somebody
Right.
meeting him for the first time would have no clue that there was any hesitation.
Go.
Yes. And he like just, Doxson just kind of looks at you and goes, "We will help in the right circumstances if you're fighting the Iusians, but only in the right circumstances. If you come and join Nerull, Three Toes, you will be once again with the family, and you will have more at your disposals. You will work
definitely.
with us as a unit. And when more of our followers come into the city, we will grow more powerful. Because eventually, Ayus will be swept forth from Rookroost, and we shall reclaim what is ours." Now, Rookroost is very important. Oh, hello. Oh, you can't see that, can you? I gotta do this.
Yeah.
Mazif Morris just joined. Thank you, Mazif, and welcome to Return to the Bandit Kingdoms. You get to see the shortened version this evening, but hope you're enjoying it.
Next week you'll get a full episode.
You better knock on some wood, dude. You don't want to jinx yourself. I will be
This
participating.
might be for Micah, but it's close.
I mean, I can rub off over electronical waves and internet connections, so you never know. Okay, so what was I going to say? No, he was basically talking about the helping out, and he's,
Yeah.
if you want.
The additional aid we can count on.
Oh yeah, this is what I was going to say. The reason Rookroost is actually important to Nerull, and actually the religion as a whole, for that most part, is there were really only 2 temples of Nerull of any consequence, because normally worshippers in Nerull did most of their stuff underground because people didn't understand it. It's a death cult. No, it's not a death cult. There's so many like contradictory sort of understandings of how Nerull works, and this was one of the temples, and this temple actually was very different from the other one, which was actually located over in what used to be the Horn Society. Now, the Horn Society's version of the Nerull Temple and worship was a lot more bloodier and more just like, killing for killing's sake sort of thing and whatnot, whereas the Rookroost Temple had an awful lot more of the journey, the release, the what happens in the afterlife, all that sort of stuff. So, and so there was quite a few people that would come here, learn, and then go other places. So that's what he's talking about, and that's why the Rookroost Nerull's temple is so important. Now, Silverwolf, you wouldn't necessarily know that, but Wyndon would. And Rahly wouldn't understand that.
Rahly ain't even there.
Nope.
Yeah.
Rahly wouldn't pay any attention other like, there's Nerulls in Rookroost? So.
And I say, well, as death is salvation, my troubles shall be done, and I shall gladly accept the teachings.
Excellent.
And then I bow again.
Okay, and then he gives a little bow to you. When do you want to commence the ritual?
Well, I believe there's a purification process first.
All right, tell me what that is.
Oh, it's kind of like the, we purify ourselves for Nerull, and
Is that the one
and,
where you wash in the blood of the sacrifice?
right, sure.
Okay,
yeah.
they have plenty of that here.
We need. I guess I've already assassinated everybody in my life who was dear to me, so that part of the purification process is complete.
See, this is why I'm glad that Silver Wolf and Three Toes didn't become better friends.
I was sort of becoming friends with that Rahly fellow upstairs. I don't think he really qualifies yet, so.
He's still more of a close acquaintance.
Then I do turn and I say, Silverwolf, I have something for you if I'm to do this. And I turn back to Doxson and I say, And I am going to do this. I have decided. I have been here for many reasons, and I think this is a very significant and important reason and achievement. So then I turn back to Silverwolf and I say, as part of the process, I am going to give up some previous things from my old existence. And I pull out a parchment and I hand it to you and I say, there's no chance that we did not meet by chance. I was pursuing a contract to kill your father, and I thought that you might lead me to him. But unfortunately, you have no real association with him. So here is the contract. If you wish to fulfill it, it will give you a legal cause to assassinate him, should that be something you wish to pursue in the future. And I hand.
This is the nicest thing that anyone's
I
ever
was
given
just going
to
to
me.
say that.
Thank you. What is this process that you're going through, though? Like, it seems like they're going to kill you.
No, not at all.
You can more than welcome to watch.
It's just
all right.
a change, like a caterpillar change. It will
A
gain.
metamorphosis.
It's a metamorphosis. Yes,
We
it's
have-
a metamorphosis.
We have plenty of unfurrowed ground in one of the barns that would suit it nicely. But come, we shall take you to the cleansing area. We have fresh blood.
Excellent.
Okay. I'll start. No. Michael, why don't you go ahead and start explaining what starts happening? I'll let you walk them through it, because basically, if you want to go ahead and go through it, they'll go through it. They'll just start. No time
All
like the
right.
present. Sort of
We
thing.
head over to the correct area. Select the ground as we walk around, picking out an appropriately cursed section of earth that's been cursed with the slaughter of many of the innocents, in this case animals. And then purification process is that innocent's blood is then consumed and bathed in. And once again, in this case, we have to substitute animals because that's what we have, since my innocent sacrifices were long ago. And then begins the process. The lights are removed from the room except for 6 candles placed around in a circle. And then Three Toes begins to dig a hole.
And basically, this is all in one of the barns. So they make sure that the barn is closed up. All the animals were taken out if there were any in there. And there was like the center part of the barn is where this is all happening. And you guys can go in and watch. It's like everybody came in and they're all like kind of just.
Yeah. I'll go in.
Yeah, I mean, Wyndon's probably not going to get to see something like this again, hopefully. So he'll watch as well.
Rahly, you gonna go?
Rahly's still upstairs. Like he's nowhere near.
Someone will come up to get you if you want to go.
I know someone comes up and gets me.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm not
when they
gonna
get
miss-
ready to go do this, one of these alkalites comes up and says, your master, Three Toes, is going to attempt to take the ritual of, what is it? It's the ritual what? Ascension or what? Was it?
Sure.
Okay, the ritual of ascension to priesthood of Nerull. Do you wish to come and witness his grand achievement?
He's actually kind of feeling a little bit better now. He's got all the poison out, and he's like, I don't know what the fuck you just said. But yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Okay.
And
So-
as Three Toes is digging down, then for every couple of feet he digs down, he removes a layer of clothing and lays it up along the side of the hole as a symbol of that he's getting prepared for this metamorphosis, and until he's just wearing his pants basically when he gets the hole deep enough.
Winded will turn to Silver like, I'm glad you stopped there, honestly. I wasn't ready for that.
I was kidding. I was getting nervous we would see the fourth toe myself, yeah.
All right, and then once the hole is deep enough, basically he stands in it and reaches up and can reach the top, goes and lays down inside of the hole and waits.
Now is that where they come in and well, don't they do it up on top and then throw you in?
Well, they call him on top, yeah.
Okay. Because my understanding is that you're bound
Right.
up top.
So they come in, circle around, call him, stands up, raises his hands up, gets tied up, lifted out, tied up, and thrown back in. Yep.
Okay. And then that's when they toss in the sickle?
Yep.
Okay. So then they toss this sickle in with him. So essentially, Three Toes is blindfolded, right?
Yep.
His arms are tied in front of him, and his legs are tied. So they throw him into the pit after he's blindfolded and tied up, okay? And then somebody chucks in a sickle. Now, each one of these there's 6 of them, right? One for each candle of these guys go over, and they get shovels. And then before they throw you in, so they bind him, they make you kneel. One of them comes walking up with a club.
Yep.
And he cracks Three Toes in the back of the head. Not like super hard, but like hard enough to crack and to disorientate him. Then they throw him into the pit. Then they chuck in the sickle. And then 6 of the guys go around, they take up shovels. And they start shoveling the dirt in over on top of him.
What the fuck is going on?
It's a ritual.
I did warn him that they were going to kill him. This seems like they're going to kill him.
At this point, Three Toes is trying to find the sickle to cut himself loose. So kind of woozily trying to claw around, feeling, hoping to catch a feel of it somewhere with feet or hands.
One of the alkalites that's not doing the shoveling notices that Silverwolf is looking kind of like apprehensive, kind of like his hands are starting to so he like leans in and goes, "This is the part where he must find the sickle and cut his bindings so that he may bring himself out of the grave he dug for himself."
What if he can't find it?
Well, then he's buried.
Hey, motherfuckers, what I miss?
It's part of the ritual. No, they waited till you were there.
Okay.
You don't get a grand entrance. Says, this is how Nerull will show if he is chosen or not. And so he's squirming around in there, and they just keep... And it keeps filling up, and it keeps hitting them. Is there anything else you want to put in, Michael?
Just the dirt in the mouth, getting in the eyes and the ears, trying to crawl around, trying to keep on top of a layer of dirt while still trying to dig through and find this sickle that's down here somewhere.
Yeah, and then when he doesn't find it right away, he's kind of he's got to move dirt and try and move the dirt with his hands to try and find it. So he's kind of swimming and digging and all at the same time. And as you notice, as they're shoveling it, because they're not speeding, it's just a very steady pace of shoveling and depositing. And the amount of dirt that's going in and the speed in which it's going in is faster than he can keep up to it.
Right.
And it gets to a point where he's trying to move around back and forth to move his arms, and he's getting so that he can't really move. And then just next thing you know, the dirt's halfway up his chest, and then a shovelful hits him in the back of the head, and he kind of goes forward, and another, and then he's forward, and then the shovelfuls of dirt just keep going on top of him, and next thing you know, you can't see Three Toes. All you see is dirt. And then it's full. And then they stop. They put their shovels there, and they're all just standing there, and they're just watching the dirt.
I take a step toward the shovel.
The one guy that's next to you, the acolyte, he grabs your hand and grabs your arm and goes, "Do not interfere. You will cost him his chance at being a chosen one if you do."
I'll look to Silverwolf. Be like, yeah, I mean, he chose this. It's not like they forced him to do it.
And the time tick.
Yeah, I'm gonna just in my head count to like count to 60.
60,
nothing's
nothing's happened. It's just dirt.
I take.
And then
he died.
that's when the Dachshund goes, "It does not appear that Nerull has chosen him." And they all kind of like bow their heads and go, "He has received a sweet release from life. He is no longer amongst the suffering." And then they all lift their heads back up, turn, and they start walking, start leaving the barn.
Wait a little bit longer.
Okay. As they all leave, one of the dudes in armor stays behind. He's sort of at the back. He wasn't one of the ones that were shoveling or anything, but he's just, as the others filter out, he's just kind of like there. You don't know if he's there to make sure you guys maybe aren't fucking with the grave or whatever it is that's going on, but he's not leaving with the others. So once all those guys have departed, he's still there.
I'll turn to Mick. So how long do you wait for?
You turn to that guy?
Yeah, the guy who's remained.
I don't know. How long do they wait, Mike?
Several minutes.
I was gonna say it's got to be longer than this because it's it's not unheard of too for somebody to be buried for like 10 minutes and come up out of the dirt.
Yeah, how long has he been buried at this point?
We'll say about, for the expediency's sake, 5 minutes.
Sure.
Well, he always wanted to die. As far as I know. And he's probably in Celestia. So,
Yeah.
Because that's where the
Yeah.
worshippers go.
Yeah.
And then at this point in time, once it gets closer to like the 10-minute mark, that last guy that was in there, he turns and he leaves, and it's just you guys in the barn with the dirt.
So, how long are we gonna stand here? Cause I'm bored.
I'll be honest, out of all of us, I honestly thought Three Toes would be the last of us to die.
Yeah.
Have you not been paying attention?
Well, I mean, I know he always talked about how he was okay with it, but he just seemed so capable.
I had to drag his ass out of that temple on my back.
That's true. That's fair.
That seems like a much better way.
Very heroic, might I add.
Yeah. That seemed like a much better way to die than this.
Well, like I said, he did choose this.
I'm sure he's having the time of his life, wherever he is.
I mean, do we just leave him here?
Yeah, man, let's go.
He's already buried, so that saves a step. I'll just be like, Three Toes, can you hear us? No?
Nothing.
All right. Love you. Bye-bye.
Well, I don't know that we have as much of an edge with these guys now if Three Toes isn't here. I think we're probably not going to get any quarter from them.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what to do here. I'm torn. As part Flan, as my birthright, my mother always taught me that, that it was my lot to help people, and with this one, what I would think would be to have gotten him out of here, but knowing Three Toes, I probably helped him more by not doing it, but I'm struggling with this decision. I'm not going to lie.
I understand. I've never been all that helpful, but I think you're right, though. He wouldn't have wanted us to help him. If there's one thing I believe in, it's the freedom to make your own decisions. That's one of the reasons I went to Rook Roost. Before I used it used to be a place of yes, crime and corruption, but also freedom.
Damn good parties, right?
I'll give it a couple more minutes. Those guys honestly give me a little bit of the creeps, so
yeah, wait for them to go.
Yeah, sneak out of here without having to encounter them.
Yeah, then I guess we go back to Salus's and then follow Merc's plan, and
it's going to be a lot harder without someone who can pick locks so easily. But yeah, we'll figure something out.
Okay, so you guys gonna head out?
Yeah, after a couple of minutes.
We'll wait a few more minutes and then head out.
Okay, so as you guys turn, you start to leave. There's like a little bit of you hear a rustle in the dirt.
I turn around, grab my sword, because it's probably a zombie.
The dirt starts getting pushed aside, and then there's like an arm that comes up, then another arm, and it starts digging its way up. And it like digs up until it's Three Toes, and he comes up and he's sitting like haunched down, and then he like leans back, and when he leans back, there's his eyes flash open and they're orange. His mouth falls down and it goes, and he's
like a baby.
He's dead. He's definitely not alive. And that's where we're gonna end.
Oh shit!
Oh boy.
Well, okay.
All right.
The first boss fight is Three Toes.
There you go.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
Yes, that was it. That was it. And anybody who's watching, we apologize for my crap ass computer. If I'd have known all I had to do was just shut it all the way down and turn it all the way back.
That's always the first thing you try.
Well, I shut down all the programs and restarted everything. I actually did. You know what I did? And this was good to know. I did restart the computer, but I didn't shut it down. I just did restart, and obviously that wasn't enough. Because as soon as I shut it down, like you said, and turned it back up, those things all popped up.
Well, we got it going. I mean, an hour late, but we got it going.
Yes, exactly. So anybody who is seeing this who's a normal viewer and goes, what the fuck happened to him on the 13th episode, blah, blah, blah. Well, it's my crap-ass computer, so which will be being replaced
13
in the
is, unless you're in Italy, 13 is usually an unlucky number. In Italy, it's actually lucky. Did you know that?
Right. Well, Black Cats
Three
in
Toes
Europe
was
are
not
actually
from Italy.
And now we've got an undead Three Toes, as if the alive one wasn't scary enough.
Exactly. So we'll get back to everyone next week with a full episode with everything that you've missed. There were some different things that I wanted to do as far as shout-outs and so forth, but for Frank... and actually, Marnold Morris, I think, is, if I'm not mistaken, that's Frank's daughter, and I'm not sure of her name right off the hand. Yeah, I want to thank you guys. I want to thank Lee Kim. I know Verona was on earlier today, and during the when we were not watching, so I want to say thank you to her for at least trying to tune in.
And for our new follower, I don't remember his or her name.
It's Marvin, I thought.
Can't you feel the love?
There's lots of love. Trust. I'll throw some your way later. So, but yeah. So that's about it. So thank you to
thanks to everyone
everybody
for
for
watching.
tuning in. And again, I apologize deeply for my shit-ass computer for right now. It is going to be replaced. It is on the chopping block, so to speak. I'm moving, so I'm moving poor at the moment. So that's one of the reasons. So,
And I will be back in town next week and back in the saddle.
yeah. Now think of this too, though. If I ran everything completely smooth when you were gone, you would feel less wanted and needed, right?
It's true. It's true.
You know. So there you
It's
go.
This is the only thing that keeps me going. Is the
Yeah, right. Okay.
is the need to stream.
Exactly. All right, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in, and we will talk to you next Tuesday.
Have a
Good
good
night,
one.
everybody. Thank you.
Bye.